Hey everyone, I just wanted to check in with you now that I have read through the first posts to the timeline assignment for class. It looks like we're off to an excellent start. For the most part, everyone is getting the hang of using Tiki-Taki, and there are just a couple of things that I want to point out, so that's why I've done this as a screencast rather than just a video of my face. Um, Before I get into those things, though, I first want to mention that you have the option of doing a revision for the Unit 2 timeline assignment so that you can earn up to full credit. I do that because I know that this is a brand new assignment to everyone. Very few of us, maybe one of us, I think, has used Tiki-Taki before. Um, and so I want to make sure that everyone can kind of get on the same page and become comfortable with the assignment requirements and the tool itself. So if you decide to do a revision based on the feedback that I've given you in Blackboard for your post, you don't have to submit again to Blackboard. You can just make the updates here on Tiki-Taki. If you do that, though, please send me an email to let me know that you have made some revisions so that I'll know to go back and reread your post and update your score, since Tiki-Taki won't give me any sort of notification that you've made changes. Okay, so that's out of the way. Again, everybody's doing a great job for the most part. There were a couple of you who forgot to submit your Word document or similar to Blackboard. Please remember to do that. I'll be able to find your posts this time around since we're just getting started. But as the timeline begins to get fuller and fuller, I won't be able to do that unless you have posted to Blackboard as well. So that doesn't, the post to Blackboard serves two purposes, I guess I should say. First, it helps me find your topic so that I can go to Tiki-Taki and locate your post and give you a score. And second, it ensures that just in case somebody accidentally makes changes to your post on Tiki-Taki, I have what you've done and I can give you a score for that. That doesn't happen very often, but it's just my sort of fail-safe to make sure that it doesn't. I've never really had that case come about. People are pretty good digital citizens here on Tiki-Taki. I did have one case, though, I wanted to show you here, the Battle of Ayacucho entry. I don't know who posted this one because there was no post to Blackboard and there was also no name, placed on this post. So if this one is yours, please let me know as soon as possible so that I can give you credit for that. One other thing I wanted to show you, actually two, but the first one I'm going to pick on this post here. So on Pedro I of Brazil, and I'm going to go into edit. Rather than post all of your information here, and there are only a couple of you who did this, most of you did this as outlined in the first video tutorial. Rather than post everything here, what you need to do is just put your name in the intro box so that it will appear here, and then use the extra info area to post in your work. And you'll notice that if you do that, the text is not in italics. If you have more than one paragraph, it preserves that formatting, and so on. So I'm going to actually revert this one, though, because I've given everyone feedback and the opportunity to make the changes that they need to make on their own. So that's just to kind of show you what I'm talking about if I pointed that out to you. Let me see if I can find another post to give an example on. If I told you that you need to embed your link in Tiki-Taki, so if you've done this rather than embed it, what I mean by that, let me grab this real quick so that I can, show you what this looks like. Won't let me. Of course it won't let me. Get right there, got it. Okay. So let's find Juana Azurduy. This box, the link box here at the bottom, that's where you need to paste the URL. And if you do that, scrolling down, you'll see that you get the Find Out More box. And that will open your link. Otherwise, your link is not live. You can't click on it, and people can't follow it. So I don't mean to be too much of a stickler, but I do deduct points for that, since for the outside link and the image or video, a big part of that score is just simply posting it here, finding something and posting it here. So I do deduct a few points for that. So that's something that I've given you the opportunity to revise as well. It looks like nobody had issues posting a video or an image. If you do, I want to show you something real quick. So I usually use images.google.com, Google Images, to find an image for a post. I'll just do the battle. We can do the Battle of Chapultepec. That works. And just for the sake of doing this, I'm going to choose the first one that pops up, open it up. It's not good enough to just highlight this URL and copy it into Tiki-Taki, but instead you need to right-click or control-click if you're using a Mac like me, and then choose Copy Image Address. And then once you do that, you can paste the image into your post. I'm going to choose one of these that hasn't been completed, just as an example. So you use the Media tab, add new media. The source is where you paste the link that you just copied. This is an image, so I'm going to click Save, and you'll notice here it is. And I'll take this away, Eamon. There we go. Let's hit revert. I'll figure out how to take it away. Save. Maybe it won't let me take it away. I'll fix that in a minute after the video is done. Sorry about that, Eamon. But again, if you haven't yet posted to the timeline, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. The final thing I want to say, to not belabor this too much, is to pay attention to historical significance. So in terms of the content of your post, beyond just explaining the who, what, why, where, when, or the who, where, when, you need to explain why. And that is what I mean when I'm saying historical significance. So you can list things about your person, place, thing, or event that are significant without actually explaining their historical significance. You have to take that extra step and explain why it matters that the Llaneros, for example, and I actually haven't read your post yet, Eric, because why the Llaneros role in the independence movements was significant. Not just saying they played a role in independence movements, but take that one step further and say their role in independence movement was significant because without their support, the armies led by Creoles or Criollos would not have had the manpower to succeed in defeating Spanish forces. And then give a specific example of where that happened. Hopefully that makes sense. Those were the most common pieces of feedback that I gave. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I look forward to continuing to build our timeline as we continue the course.